Hello! It is Wednesday morning, so we were at Boo Bash all last night. We had a fantastic time. We'll probably update you on that later. We didn't end up getting back to the hotel until a little bit after 1 a.m. And then I had a pretty gnarly blister on the bottom of my foot, so after showering, we had to take care of that and didn't fall asleep until about 2 a.m. So we're pretty tired. We are just wrapping up right now at the Buena Vista Palace Hilton Hotel, where we have this fabulous suite that I will miss very much. But yeah, so we're packing up. We're going to probably look at their grab and go to grab breakfast. We do have a $24 credit we can spend. And then we are heading on over to Beach Club. Our room isn't ready yet, of course, but we will drop our things off with bellhops there. And then this morning at 7 a.m., I managed to grab boarding group number 4 for Rise of the Resistance. So I'm really happy that we're going to get to do it today. That was kind of the only goal for today, was try to get on Rise of the Resistance. The rest of the day was always planned to be a low-key rest day, whether we end up at Blizzard Beach or just the hotel pool, etc. But that's where we're at for now. We're both very tired after a long and very sweaty, but very fun and successful Boo Bash. So we'll update you on that later. All right, bye! We dropped our things off at Beach Club, and at 9:40 our boarding group got called. So we are headed over to Hollywood Studios now. Gonna do Rise of the Resistance, and then we're gonna have an early lunch at Beaches and Cream.
Later.
Hi friends, we are filming in the boardwalk. It is the morning of Thursday, September 9th, but we'll talk about yesterday, Wednesday, September 8th. The last time we chatted, we were leaving the Hilton Buena Vista Palace King Suite bedroom, and we had secured Rise of the Resistance boarding group number 4. So we headed out and checked in over at the Beach Club Villas. Of course, our room wasn't ready, that's totally fine. We dropped our things off, and then our boarding group got called around 9:40. I believe the park opened at 9 a.m., so there was a little bit of a delay there. But yeah, we went over to Hollywood Studios, went straight back into Batuu, and then both rode Rise of the Resistance for the very first time. So, what did you think?
Oh, I really enjoyed it. As someone who's a Star Wars fan and a new ride I hadn't been on, the whole experience was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was super immersive, and certainly from like an engineering perspective and a quality perspective, I was very impressed. The way that they sort of pieced together all of the elements of the ride was really cool. This was both of our first times on a trackless system. That was really fun.
Yeah, it kept things really unpredictable, right?
Yeah, I definitely think it helps with the re-ride factor because, presumably we won't get assigned to the same color.
Yeah, good chance.
Yeah, so we'll sit in a different place and have a little bit of a different experience. We didn't get the Kylo animatronics, so I think the ride might have been like slightly in B mode. We are going to try to ride again, try for another boarding group, and see if we can get the full experience. But overall, it's a good ride. It's a nice ride. But as a person who doesn't really care about Star Wars at all, I'm not dying to do it again. I don't think, if there was a standby line, I don't think I would wait more than 20 or 30 minutes for that particular ride.
Yeah, I would say that probably I would wait 20, 30 minutes for it, but
would you wait 90 minutes? Like, how long would you wait?
probably definitely would not wait longer than 40, 45 minutes to ride it. It is a pretty decently long experience. I like that. I think that what took 10, 15 minutes to go once you got into the attraction and boarded your had first pre-show, right? Yeah, but yeah, you're seeing animatronic BB-8, right?
Oh yeah, I liked the BB-8 in the first pre-show a lot. He was fun.
Yeah, it's pretty much it. The whole Stormtrooper room was a real showstopper. The scale.
That was cool. They rushed us through that a lot though, which I was kind of annoyed about. But yeah, that room was probably the only time I was like, wow, this is awesome.
Yeah, so after Rise of the Resistance, we had a very early lunch reservation over at Beaches and Cream. We headed back to the Beach Club Resort and went to our reservation. We did end up driving. Obviously, we could have walked or taken the boat, but just because we knew we were in a time crunch with getting back to Beach Club, we decided to drive. We had lunch at Beaches and Cream, and it was phenomenal. It was so much better than I was expecting. We got proper lunch, so I had a French dip sandwich, and Adam got a chicken bacon ranch burger or chicken sandwich. Adam's was very tasty. The bacon was great. It was real cheese. The chicken was good. The ranch that they used, they must home make because it was way different than the bottled stuff and so much better, more balanced. The herbs really came through. Your bun was a little bit disappointing though, right?
Yeah, but I also got an upgrade of onion rings, which was also really good. So they don't obviously make their homemade bread there, but they do try to make everything else, I think,
Yeah.
in shop, given what they've got in the kitchen.
My French dip, they toasted the inside of the bread. The meat was tasty on its own. The cheese was melty. They put some crispy onion straws on top, which don't really taste like anything, but they give you this awesome textural difference. Au jus was good, and I just got tater tots on the side, and those were tasty. Yeah, my sandwich was really good. It was so good. I was surprised at how tasty it was. I think of the two, we both agreed that my entree was better. So if you like French dips and you're headed to Beaches and Cream, I highly suggest you order that.
Yeah, we also got a pretty amazing dessert as well. We got a fudge mudslide sundae. It was $11, and it certainly can feed a family of 4 for that price.
Yeah, it was huge. It had 3 scoops of ice cream, maybe 4. They're giant scoops if they were only 3. There were brownie bits all throughout it. You got Oreos. You had a fudge drizzle. Like, it was a lot. It was really good. We did not finish it.
No.
I'm really happy with that decision. I don't think I was expecting it to be quite that full. Oh, and then there was like marshmallow topping and whipped cream. It was like, there was the size of the jar, which was filled, and then there was just as much stuff on top.
They really piled it on, right?
They really piled it on. But yeah, for $11, you could split that with a lot of people and make that a very cost-effective treat, and it's super tasty. So our whole meal, we just got waters for drinks, was around $60. So about $30 per person for an entree and split a dessert. That's after tax and tip and all of that. I know that's a little bit expensive, but 1, you're at Disney, and 2, it was really good. I'm happy to pay $17 for a really fantastic sandwich as opposed to $12 to $13 for a very meh sandwich that's just food but not particularly enjoyable. This was fantastic, and I know it's difficult to get a Beaches and Cream reservation, but if you can, I would highly suggest it. After we wrapped up at Beaches and Cream, it was probably a little bit after noon. Our room still wasn't ready. Again, we expected that, so we had packed a day pack with swimsuits and sunscreen. And you might think we went to Storm Along Bay, but we actually instead headed over to Blizzard Beach. So as part of our Hilton price, it came with 2 complimentary water park tickets. There's only 2 of us, so that worked out perfectly. Wednesday was supposed to be a pretty chill day, and we didn't push too much, so yeah, headed out to Blizzard Beach. I don't think they made you pay to park.
No.
No one was checking parking when we went. It was super dead though. Like there was hardly anybody there. On busier days, they may enforce parking. I'm not sure. But yeah, we headed into Blizzard Beach, did a full lap around the lazy river. That was very fun, super relaxing. Got a teeny tiny tan. Adam did Summit Plummet, so good for you.
Okay, Adam is about to do Summit Plummet. I just have my phone, I don't have my real camera. So you probably won't be able to tell that it's him. But I know that poofy hair anywhere. Here we go! Woo! How was it?
It was fast.
How fast?
So fast. I couldn't even see. Like the water just like from my feet got right in my face and I blinked and it was over.
As a person that wears contacts and I'm not wearing a one-piece swimsuit right now, I feel good about my decision not to go on.
Yeah, it was definitely thrilling, but it was fun.
Yay!
We did both also ride the chairlifts up and take the tube slides down. You can't ride that with 2 people though. It has to be at least 3, just FYI. So we did end up riding with another party, but that's totally fine.
It was definitely enjoyed the tube ride though.
Yeah, it was really fun.
It was a fun ride.
We could have done literally all of the rides. they were all complete walk-ons. We just chose not to. We would rather hang out, laze around. And me in particular, I'm always nervous about water slides, like hurting my back. So, you know, getting older here. Yeah, we spent maybe 2 hours at Blizzard Beach.
Yeah.
We did pay for a large-sized locker for our day bags. It was $15, and you can go in and out of it all day with a pin. You don't need your magic band or anything. And then we were supposed to rent towels, but we ended up getting them for free because we're resort guests. I don't know if that's standard practice.
Yeah, they really didn't check anything. They just said, hey, resort guests? Oh, okay, which one? That was the check, right? And I'm just saying I'm staying at Beach Club, and for all they know, it could have said Boardwalk and lied, but they would have given me the towels anyway.
Yeah, so I don't know what standard procedure is for that, but we didn't pay anything to rent towels. So yeah, a nice little 2-hour activity. We definitely could have stayed longer, but we did get the text that our room was ready around 2:30. And also it started to sprinkle. It was very lightly raining, so we figured, well, whatever. We wanted to shower and rest up a little bit outside of the sun. So we headed back to the room, and that ended up being perfect timing because it started raining pretty hard once we got to the car. We arrived at our room at Beach Club Villas. They gave us room 275, which is pretty close to the stairwell to the parking lot and on the second floor. So I was hoping to be a little closer to main amenities and on the 5th floor or the 4th floor, a little higher, but you know, room requests are never guaranteed. The room was really nice. It was cute, it was comfortable, it suited our needs well. It definitely wasn't like super beach clubby, like there wasn't a ton of theming, which I know some people are bummed about. I am a little bit, but honestly, it doesn't bother me too much. The bed was comfy, and that's what counts the most to me.
Yeah, got a good night's sleep.
Yeah, and the shower was good. Yeah, it was great. I mean, I liked staying there. I think I would stay there again. Points-wise for DVC, it is a little bit pricier, so it would be a little bit of a splurge for us. Noise level was mild to moderate. There definitely was some noise. You can hear, especially the adjoining room and the people above us. I heard quite a lot this morning. I don't know what they were doing, stomping around a little bit, which is kind of why I wanted to stay on the 5th floor, top floor, but that's okay. But yeah, it was nice. I think I feel good about not buying a home contract there, given the points cost, and it expires in 2042. And while I enjoyed it, I enjoyed my stay there, it wasn't like, it didn't change my mind. After we got back from Blizzard Beach and had a little rest, it was pouring. Sometimes it was raining, not that hard, and then it was pouring. You know how Florida rain goes. We decided to just stay inside for a little bit, so we headed to the Ale and Compass Lounge, which has been on my list for a little bit because they have this drink called the Northeast Avenue that I have been wanting. So we went, we got it. Adam got a slightly spicy margarita, but the spice was like just barely there on the back end.
Yeah, it just a margarita, but instead of orange, it had like a chili liqueur. It was still good.
It was like not spicy though. If you want something really spicy, this isn't it. And if you're not that great at tolerating spice, you would be fine.
Yeah, if you just wanted like a marg that had a little bit of kick to it.
A teeny tiny bit.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, and we split a barbecue chicken flatbread. That was actually surprisingly spicy. I took the banana peppers off. They just sprinkled them on at the end.
Sprinkled.
And even without the banana peppers, like whatever they're putting, I don't know if it was the chicken or the
I
sauce.
think it was like a chipotle tomato
Yeah,
sauce.
it was tasty, but I was surprised at how spicy it was. So if you are spice adverse, I would not get that chicken flatbread. So we spent a little time down at the Ale and Compass Lounge. That was really great. And then it was still pouring. So we were hoping to head into Epcot for a proper dinner. We didn't have reservations or anything, but you know, eat around World Showcase. But instead we headed over to Martha's Vineyard to try to wait out the rain a little bit longer. I got a whiskey breeze, you got to walk the plank, both alcoholic drinks. They were very good, no complaints. Definitely some of the bartenders on property, especially in the lounges, are like pretty talented. They know what they're doing.
So yeah, then after our 2 rounds of drinks, we decided to make our way into Epcot after the rain had completely stopped.
Yeah, it was totally done raining, and the radar looked
Promising.
promising, yeah. So then we headed into Epcot through that International Gateway entrance, which honestly is so close. It's like a hop and a skip away. I guess that's why people love Beach Club. Like, that has to be the selling point for sure. And I get that.
Yeah. There's like a secret door out one end of Beach Club that is literally you could...
The hotel side, not the villas.
Correct. If you were a very talented quarterback, you could throw a football and probably hit the International Gateway.
Probably. Yeah, so then we headed into Epcot. We got some food from the Morocco food booth. I mean, it's in Tangerine Cafe now, but we got the beef tenderloin tips kebab, which was so good. Like, that killed. And then we also got the falafel pita, and that was good.
Yeah, it was a little on the bland side for
Yeah,
falafel.
the falafel itself wasn't super well seasoned, I don't think.
But when you got a bite with everything, including...
The like vegetables on the bottom and stuff.
Yeah, it had the seasoning and marinade. It was fine. It was decent size for the price
Yeah,
as well.
definitely. I think those two things cost $11 together.
Yeah, the beef was a little more expensive.
But, I mean, for Epcot prices and then festival prices on top of that, they were both good and filling. We then started to make our way around the World Showcase a little bit. We stopped in the wine shop in Italy, right?
Yep.
And we got some double pours. It was starting to rain a little bit, so we sat on a bench outside of the shop in Italy that was fully undercover, and then it just torrentially poured.
Skies opened up and it was probably torrentially raining for probably 20-30 minutes before it even maybe a little longer. So finished entire double.
We were there for a while.
Yeah, we were not chugging, we were sipping.
Yeah, it did start to lighten up a little bit, so we decided to make our way out. By this time, the park was like almost closing anyway, and it was raining lightly for maybe half of our walk on the way out, and then it started to pour again. We got drenched. We had brought one poncho. I had brought one poncho, and I asked Adam if he wanted to bring a poncho, and he said no. So we had brought one poncho. Adam was carrying our bag with my camera and stuff I didn't want to get wet, so Adam ponchoed up. I had a light zip-up jacket, but it certainly was never meant to be waterproof. It wasn't advertised that way, so it didn't do great in the rain. There were huge puddles.
The puddle's crazy big.
Yeah, the puddles were intense. So we eventually made our way back to the room. I was pretty much soaked through, so I showered and stuff. But yeah, it was a good day. So that was our Wednesday, which was our first like proper Disney day, because Tuesday we just did Boo Bash. It was a lot.
It was a lot, yeah.
But yeah, this was our first full Disney day. We did intentionally take it pretty easy because we knew we'd be exhausted from Universal and then Boo Bash, and that was definitely true. And yeah, we're having a really nice time. Popped into Hollywood Studios, popped into Epcot, popped out soaking wet, hit up some of the lounges in the area, which was awesome to check out. And we got a really nice night's sleep, which was fantastic after Boo Bash night.
Needed.
Yeah, I think we only slept like 5 hours Tuesday
Maybe less,
night.
yeah.
So it was great. There's more vlogs coming. Thank you so much to everyone who did leave a like on the video. And if you haven't yet, I really wish you would subscribe. It's totally free for you. It really helps me out. And then once you're subscribed, you can ring the bell icon to receive notifications whenever we post new videos. If you have any questions about this day or parts of our stay, definitely let me know in the comments down below. We can also talk outside of YouTube over on Twitter and Instagram. You will find me at PixieDustPhD. We are currently also waiting out some rain to start our Thursday. We had a pretty lazy morning this morning, which was needed. It was great. Epcot doesn't open till 11 a.m. anyway, and that's where our park reservation is. So waiting out some more rain and then heading back into the parks for a more proper park day. I hope the rest of your day is magical, and we'll see you real soon at Pixie Dust PhD.
Bye.
Bye!